Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. I'm SocietySucks and today I'm checking out The Ninjas Didn't Exist by Nightshift Kurzgesagt After Dark. The title actually changed. The original one was Everything You Know About Ninjas is Wrong, which that all makes sense because it's Hollywood. It's all just done to get people's attention. Obviously real life was way different. So let's see what Kurzgesagt has to say on this topic.
Clouds cover the moon as a man climbs up Azuchi Castle on his grappling hook. It's 1580, and the intruder is here to kill a warlord. Dressed in black, he sneaks through the castle halls, throwing stars and smoke bombs from his belt. He
And
avoids
somehow
guards
he
where
gets
can,
through
and silently
God only
kills
knows how
them
many
where he
guards
can't.
undetected.
Sliding open a door, he lunges, but guards are waiting.
Yeah.
The warlord demands to know who sent him. The assassin bites off his own tongue. Oda Nobunaga,
Highly doubtful.
the first great unifier of Japan, survives. For now.
Is this a real
Scene has
story?
become part of the legend of the ninja.
'Cause I
or
doubt it.
Shinobi. The truth is, if anything like this had actually happened, the killer would have been a doctor. He'd have had no smoke bombs or throwing stars, and he wouldn't have murdered guards, but would have passed them with a smile. The ninja
He would just
mythology
poison
is so
them.
strong, so cool, that it pulls in stories that are totally unrelated.
I mean, the best way to kill someone is to poison them. It's easy. You can get past any protection they have, usually. It's much more efficient than trying to brute force your way through dozens of guards, which you definitely wouldn't be able to do as one person alone.
So, who were the real ninja, and where have they gone? A shattered empire.
They were probably mainly just
Japan
like
is
spies or
ruled
some
by a
shit.
military government, the shogunate. Officially serving the emperor, they've been the real power for centuries. But their authority has crumbled. Daimyo, feudal lords and their armies of Bushi, Japan's warrior class, are waging war for territory and power. Close to the capital Kyoto, which all rising powers hope to control, lie Iga and Koka. More than one warlord thinks they're easy to conquer. A mistake. Their mountains act as a natural defense, and their clans work together. But their real strength is the samurai they lend to neighbors and allies, shifting allegiances and spying on threats to keep the fighting far away. These skills of spying, ambush, and stealth are called shinobi tactics, and eager samurai gain a reputation for them.
Basically, yeah.
But in recent
Ninjas
years,
were just
a new power
spies.
has risen, an inspiring leader and ruthless conqueror who can unify Japan. Oda Nobunaga. After he deposes the shogun in Kyoto,
Hold on,
Oda
I think
is
I've
the
watched
most
a video
powerful
about
man
this
in
guy.
Japan. To consolidate his
I think it
control,
was from
Oda invades
Mitzi
Kuka
Studio.
with overwhelming force, and the district becomes his personal fief. Now alone, Iga's days are numbered. In 1579, Oda's son tries to impress his dad by invading Iga. This plan backfires when local samurai infiltrate his camps. Disguised as merchants and priests, they learn the paths the armies are taking. Then, the men of Iga ambush and destroy them. Oda is furious. You were guilty of a fiasco on the Iga border. Take this as a lesson. He will not make the same mistakes as his son. When the warlord himself invades Iga in 1581, he sends more than 40,000 samurai who destroy every village and temple they encounter, killing thousands.
So he did succeed.
Iga's samurai are soon bottled up in their castles. The defenders use all kinds of shinobi tricks,
Just burn
lighting
them?
torches for fake reinforcements, setting fire to enemy camps, killing scouts, and leading night raids. 3 musketeers lie in wait for Oda Nobunaga himself and kill his guards, but the warlord is undeterred. After long sieges, Iga submits to the Oda clan. This victory lasts only a year. Then Oda Nobunaga is murdered, not by a ninja, but in an ambush by disloyal subordinates.
Yep.
The warlord refuses to
his
die
end.
by any hand but his own. He commits seppuku, disemboweling himself with his own sword. Oda's story may be
Disemboweling?
over, but the story of the ninja
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, I guess it isn't... They do stab themselves in the belly, not the chest.
is just beginning. Without his authority, former allies become rivals, and the men of Iga will help decide who wins that fight. History on a knife edge. The fearsome Oda Nobunaga is dead. Finally, old grudges are paid back in blood, and Oda supporters like Tokugawa Ieyasu are hunted down. Tokugawa was one of his closest allies. Now he's in enemy territory with only a few dozen men. His bodyguards of Iga and Koka samurai, led by the legendary Hattori Hanzo, who has served Tokugawa for decades. Their loyalty has only grown since Tokugawa gave shelter to those fleeing the Oda invasion. Now they can return the favor. Tokugawa needs to pass through Iga, a dangerous place full of bandits and samurai hunters. But Hattori's warriors know the mountains well. Their strategy is relying on old ties and bribes just as much as on bows and blades, or so the legend says. After a harrowing...
Yeah, that's one thing that has to be remembered. A lot of this could obviously just be embellished tales. A lot of this could be fake, just purely fictional tales, not actually what happened, because this is hundreds of years ago.
...trek, Tokugawa reaches safety. By saving his life, Hattori's warriors have changed the course of history. They allow him to become shogun 2 decades later and shift the country from 200 years of ongoing warfare into a peace that will last decades. Tokugawa brings his bodyguards to the new capital Edo, while his ascension as the last of the 3 great unifiers of Japan would seem to end the need for shinobi fighters. But not everyone is pleased with the new shogunate, so
obviously,
with shinobi skills will still be essential to keep the newly won peace. We'll let the shinobi catch their breath for a moment, and we're headed back to Japan. Sniffing out conspiracy. In 1651, the Tokugawa shogunate has ruled for 3 generations, prizing stability above all else. To prevent the spread of dangerous new ideas, Japan has become strictly isolationist, banning Christian missionaries and restricting foreign merchants. Violators are imprisoned and deported. To avoid the bloody pitched battles of the past, official policy requires all lords to spend every other year in Edo, based on the principle, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. The job of watching the lords falls to the guards patrolling the grounds of Edo Castle, like this guy. He's not just a common soldier, he's a kind of castle detective. It's the family trait. His grandfather served under Hattori Hanzo and followed him to Edo. Besides guarding the shogun, his most important job is gathering intelligence by blending in as a servant or priest. He knows that people whisper about the detective's supernatural skills and call them shinobi no mono, person of stealth. The detectives see themselves as maintaining peace and order, but to their enemies, they really just gathered information and surveillance state.
Tried to keep the peace.
When the 3rd shogun dies, he leaves a vulnerable empire to his 10-year-old son.
Ooh, 10-year-old, not good.
The palace that something is on the horizon, and a masterless samurai called Marubashi Chuya is particularly suspicious. He runs a sword-fighting school, a perfect place for young samurai to conspire. A detective slips into Marubashi's home disguised as a servant and, according to one version of what happened, finds Marubashi ill, talking to people in a fever dream. The unnoticed detective listens with horror as Marubashi describes a terrifying plot: to set Edo ablaze with gunpowder, killing thousands in a deadly distraction. As the authorities fight the flames, Marubashi will storm Edo Castle, murder the shogun's regents, and force the boy to undo his father's unpopular policies. The detective slips out of the house and returns with soldiers. The conspiracy is undone. As a result, whole families are crucified, tortured to death for all to see.
Jesus.
The detective does not relish these brutal punishments, tortured to death for all to see.
They had crucifixions in Japan?
The detective does not relish these brutal punishments, but sees them as necessary. Only
it's to send a message.
Can keep Japan from slipping back into chaos.
If you misbehave, you're gonna face punishment.
He opens a well-read book, A History of Oda Nobunaga. The detective enjoys the section on Iga's plucky defiance. It's more exciting than the day-to-day surveillance that makes up his shinobi work. It's in this peaceful period that the legend of the shinobi begins to really form. Eager scholars craft the legend of Tokugawa's escape through their homeland and boast of the skills of their samurai. They have a supernatural power as spies, so no matter how secure a fortress is, they can enter it secretly. The kabuki theaters bring these stories to life. Characters who can turn invisible or transform into toads, rats, and slugs. Actors use gunpowder, throwing knives, and acrobatics. One trope becomes commonplace. Characters dress in black to signal invisibility, just like the stagehands in
so
all-black outfits.
it was actually started by the Japanese themselves. That's interesting. I would have thought it was Western media that popularized it.
Coming together. While the legend of the Iga shinobi takes shape, the connection of the castle detectives to Iga grows weaker as generations of new shoguns bring their own men to protect them. But once the outside world comes knocking and Japan has to react, shinobi skills will come in handy once more. The world comes to Japan. In 1854, 2 centuries after Marubashi nearly burned Edo to the ground, the capital is under threat once again, but this time not from within. 9 US gunboats are anchored in the port of Yokohama, cannons pointed at nearby Edo. Japan has been off limits to foreigners for centuries, but Commodore Perry of the US Navy demands open trade and diplomatic relations, or else. For years, the British, Russian, and French empires have been pressing for entry. The Americans are just the most recent and the most open with their threats. Japan's neighbor China presents a terrifying example of how badly this contact can go.
Yep.
Detective Sawamura Yasusuke watches the strangers in their odd clothes as he tries to assess the danger. He's not here to assassinate Perry. He's not like the shinobi he's read about or seen on stage.
I mean, if you assassinate the leader, you're basically just declaring war. If you assassinate him, the US will have to respond, likely with open war.
In the Japanese delegation, the Americans have no idea that Japan has developed the most sophisticated intelligence gathering system in the world, or that they've let a professional spy onto their flagship. But Sawamura's talents, honed in the feudal society of Tokugawa Japan, are of only limited use in this new modern world. A single spy can't change the fates of empires, and you don't need shinobi training to see that the shogun is outmatched. Japan's doors slowly creak open to the world. The ancient military dictatorship was already cracking under economic and political pressure, and many are outraged that the shogun has allowed Japan's humiliation. The detectives were espionage experts in isolationist Japan, but their usefulness is running out. With a weakened shogunate and angry feudal lords, Japan is closer to civil war than it's been for 300 years. The new emperor Meiji seizes the opportunity to sweep away the shogunate and its institutions, like the castle detectives, replacing them with professional secret police more suited to the modern Japan he seeks to create. 3 centuries after the province was raised, the shinobi legacy of Iga finally dies.
Hey, I mean, it lasted pretty long.
Enter the ninja.
3 centuries is quite a long time.
This may have been the end of the shinobi of history, but it's the birth of the ninja of myth. The Edo period saw an explosion of art and literature, and in the 20th century, these stories gained new life. In 1936, martial artist Fujita Seiko claims secret knowledge of ninjutsu from Koka, able to withstand poisons and torture, impersonate animals.
Wait.
To Fujita Seiko claims secret knowledge of ninjutsu from Koka, able to withstand poisons and torture.
Sounds like something straight from some cringy anime.
His work reads like a parody, but some people take it seriously. After World War II, Japan needed to rebuild, and that included its national confidence. Storytellers looked back into a mythologized past, and they found shinobi. Kabuki tales and woodblock prints evolved into movies and manga.
Yeah.
These stories weren't about the surveillance of the Tokugawa secret police, but shadow warriors who sneak into castles and assassinate villains. Shinobi
AKA something that didn't actually exist.
And became an identity. It feels traditional, but what we know and love about ninja is less than a century old. The straight ninja sword
And it's just
first
fiction.
appears in a 1956 tourism
Not
advert.
really based
The
on
throwing star
reality.
is from a 1957 movie, and the ancient martial art of ninjutsu is a post-war creation. Even the word ninja came out of the 20th century. Shinobi warfare wasn't unique to the samurai of Iga and Korka, but their skills entered the storybooks as their descendants entered the castle. As detectives, they adapted to uncover conspiracies and clamp down on dissent, but they couldn't change with the times forever. When the shogunate itself was swept away, the shinobi went too. But they survive as shadows and stories long after the world that created them has disappeared.
Yeah, I really don't have much to say here. Ninjas are fake. In reality, they were just spies. They got information. That was pretty much it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing and leaving a like. If you want to see more reactions, check out this video right here. And with that, I hope I'll see you in the next video.